Hello everyone, this is Rishi from Nursery to Varsity and welcome to new learning path House of Docker. Let's start our Docker journey. I strongly believe that learning any new technology involves the 5 basic steps. And the step 1 is the determination that you want to learn that technology. Since you have learned it to this YouTube video, I believe that step 1 is already done. Now the second next step is understanding what is a Docker. When I say what is Docker, it's not just about one definition. It's more of real understanding that what is the actual problem that Docker solves, and moving on, why we use the Docker, and understanding when we should use the Docker, what is the real use cases, how the real enterprises are applying this technology to solve their complex problem, and the last but not least, how it works under root. So how it brings that magical experience which solve the very complex problem. Having said that, it's not the day one where you get the answer of all these questions. It's a process, it's a journey where you will keep improvising your definition of what is Docker, why we are using Docker, and so first three can be learned by reading more and more material, and the last step, which is how it works, you have to do more of the practical. It's a combination of these four things which build our basic skills and fundamental of the Docker. In this journey, we are going to focus on these four perspectives, this four vertical, and explore our understanding about the Docker. So what is a Docker? Basically, Docker is a utility or a tool designed to make it easier to create, deploy, and run application by using a container. So the immediate question which comes in the mind is, what is a container, right? A standard unit of software that packages up all the necessary dependencies and code to run an application quickly in the reliable form. Let me break down this for you. So think you have a Linux operating system, right? And you have many processes are running on that operating system, and each process will share, let's say, the process namespace, the network namespace, and all that sharing is happening, and it's good. But you want to have the isolation for one particular process. You want some sort of sandbox where you can run a single process. How would you achieve that? To answer this, the container. It's a kind of a sandbox where you run a single process, and in order to run the single process, you need all this network namespace and the process namespace and file system namespace and everything. So that all the necessity will be provided by this container where you will run your application. So to sum up for now, whenever you read a term a container, you can think of a sandbox which has its own namespace where you run your application or a process. That's all. Of course, we will deep dive further in it, but for now, you can think as in sandbox. So let's understand why Docker. Consider a scenario where you have been asked to write a new application, and that too in a Python 3. So the way you do it is you install the Python 3 on your local system, you have the specific runtime environment, and then you write your program. Now you ship this executable to your deployment team, and their task is to deploy this application to a production system. And that's where the problem start happening. They complain like this is not working in production. Now it's working in your development system, but it's not working in the production. And the reason is because development and the production environment is not identical, and that could be plenty of reason behind this. So the Docker solves this problem. It is infra independent, means it has its own code and dependency as we discussed in definition, right? So it's independent of the underlying infrastructure. That's why it's a kind of sandbox which can be run anywhere. Again, this is not all the feature, or why you use Docker, but one of the main reasons. So let's discuss when to use Docker. You can use Docker as a version control system as you use Git or anything for your entire apps or Git operating system. Or whenever you have a need like which goes to multiple phases like dev, test, QA and prod, that's where you can use. And there are other plenty of use case. What we are discussing here is 30,000 foot view, and so as we learn more about it, read more about it, we'll come to know more interesting real use cases. So when we are discussing about the big picture, let's not forget it's not just Docker which can help you to achieve the same solution for the problem which we are discussing. There are plenty of other solutions are available like DSDGels, LXD, LXC, which are the native Linux container, RKT, Solid Zone. So all other solutions are also there, and they have their own advantage and disadvantage. So that's all for today's video. In next video we'll learn about how to implement Docker in real world and look at the live demo. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video. Please like, share and subscribe.